All right, guys, real quick, let's talk about a little bit of maybe a chicken and egg story. A little bit of who came first or who needs more who. There is an MD shortage. I don't know very many people if they know about it. Also, sorry if I sound a little bit snotty today. We had some sickness going around the dude nurse household this past weekend. So I'm a little bit congested. Anyways, there's an MD shortage going on nationwide. Much like the nursing shortage that I've already done videos on, there's an MD shortage. Now, there is no shortage of names of providers. I will say that much. You've got MDs, NPs, FNPs, DNPs, PAs, you name it. There's probably 2 or 3 letters that somehow means provider. I mean, there's a plethora of letters that you can combine together that means provider. And so I am not talking specifically about all of them. I'm talking more specifically about the MDs, the doctors, the top notch, the high guys, the guys that bark and you say where to go. Anyways, much like the nursing shortage, a lot of MDs are getting older, and there are less and less people going into it. I don't know if you've seen here recently. I know I have, and it could just be the way my channel works on YouTube. A lot of channels are having commercials for MCATs, which is the medical school entry exam. Much like I don't want to say it's the T's of doctors, but for if you're a nurse, you took the T's or the HESI, which I completely forgot about. It's not the same thing. Definitely, don't even think that they're the same thing, but that is the entry level exam to get into medical school, the MCATs. Also, I've seen commercials for, I want to say it's called St. George's Medical School. And so plenty of education on doctoring. Not so much on nursing. I used to get a lot of ECPI commercials, but not really so much anymore. A lot more doctorate. And it seems to be becoming more and more prevalent that doctors, MDs, are becoming a shortage. If you look out there, like I said, they're getting older. The greatest generation is of course, the World War II generation, who gave birth to the baby boomers, who at the youngest, I believe a baby boomer is somewhere around 57 at this point in time. I want to say 63, 64 is probably the youngest you could be and still be a baby boomer. So you're looking at like 56, 57 years old is the youngest you could be and be a baby boomer, which is, of course, the biggest, the largest generation. And so many of these people are retiring or slowing down. And Generation X was much smaller, and the millennials, not as many of them are becoming doctors. And so you can find this even with specialists. Specialists are getting harder and harder to find. For my daughter, we had to drive 3 hours to get a specialist just for her, and it was still like a few month wait due to the type of specialty that this physician does, this MD does. And so it is definitely getting more and more prevalent. But here's the chicken and egg story. Do the nurses need the doctors, or do the doctors need the nurses? So as there is a shortage of both of us, I say us, I am a nurse, and so the MDs are getting shorter, the nurses are getting shorter, there's now becoming less and less of each pot to pick from. What's going to come first? Who's going to push harder to recruit harder to get more nurses or to get more doctors? Which one's going to be the one that says, hey, we're going to offer full ride scholarships to anybody who goes into nursing or goes into doctorate, medical doctorate. So it seems like it's a medical chicken and egg story to me. Which one's getting shorter? Which one's going to start competing as far as school goes, education, scholarships, things like that. And so, like I said, I've definitely seen a lot more commercials for the MCATs for sure. I used to not see any, and now I see tons. And so I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. I'm not really wanting the shortage to happen. It is happening. Don't fool yourself. The nursing shortage is here. The MD shortage is definitely coming. Just take a look at any of your family physician practices. You will see plenty of NPs, FNPs, DNPs, PAs on their websites. You used to only see all MDs, and now you're seeing, if there's a group of 5 of them, 3 of them are MDs, and one's a PA and one's a NP. So you're definitely seeing a lot more change in providers as MDs become more of a shortage with the MDs. So like I said, I'm curious to see how this turns out. I kind of want to see schools push really hard for scholarships, maybe even with high school kids. Go ahead and rope in some high school kids to doctor in rural areas, or whatever it may be, that gets these kids into becoming MDs. So I'm curious. Has anybody else noticed this? You can look it up, and there's plenty of articles on the MD shortage. Let me know. I know I have definitely kind of seen how we've started going to NPs a lot more, or FNPs or DNPs or PAs, whatever it may be. But in my particular case, NPs, I've definitely noticed how we've started going that route. So let me know if you've seen the shortage, if you know of the shortage, if it's chicken and egg to you, and you're kind of looking forward to seeing whose school's going to push harder to get more people to join, whatever it may be. So I hope it helps. Thank you much.